Prepare for a fusion of knowledge and exhilaration, where education and excitement collide.
Taking you on an adventure that expands your mind and speaks to your spirit.
I'm Master Nick.
I'm Lady Dee.
We are the Dom Life.
This podcast contains sexually explicit topics and adult content.
It is intended for listeners 18 and older.
The opinions expressed in this podcast are ours alone, based on our personal thoughts, feelings, and experiences.
We understand that others may have different opinions and experiences, and we respect that. We would love to hear from you. You can reach out to us at www.thedomlife.com. All right. So body, we're going to take out the part, you must be completely naked in bed. For different reasons now, because you sleep.
Would you like me to snuggle next to you?
Occasionally, yes.
Okay.
Maybe I should add in there at least twice a month. You got to rub my back or something, because that's
you
always.
Should.
Yeah.
But when the problem is it's not just me that says no.
I know. Yeah, no. There's some nights I physically cannot.
I do all my shaving.
And those nights I may just have you get on top. Yep, that'll work.
What? Okay.
All right. You must be shaved. Keep your fingernails painted as long as possible. We know you maintain that for sure. Must maintain your figure to a reasonable weight and size. I'm not dissatisfied. You are dissatisfied with your body here lately, but I personally don't have a problem with it. I love your body.
Yay.
I love seeing you naked.
Yay.
If you choose a diet, you'll let me know so I can help hold you accountable. And if Master desires to have you,
let's go on a diet, Master Nick.
I will help you with your diet. You leave my damn food alone.
The problem is when I cook for both of us.
Yeah, you just won't be able to eat it, and it's more for me. So we'll need to get more chocolate chip cookies, because you're not going to be able to eat those. If Master desires to have your flesh showing in private or in public, you must accept his desire. That will stay in there. Mental, I don't have any changes for mental. You will always openly communicate concerns at your first opportunity. You will apologize when you have erred. You'll never hide your tears from Master. You will not worry about things that are out of your control, which, most of the time you don't. If it's out of your control, you're like me. You just
set it aside. I've always been good at putting it in a box and setting it up. If I can't control it, then I'm not going to sit and.
Right. All right. Household. Keep the household in presentable order. And again,
we do.
It is.
My house, I don't mind people coming in. It's lived in.
It's lived in.
And if somebody's coming, we typically work together to get it clean.
Just kind of straighten it up.
Yeah, because
dust a little bit.
It's a big house.
And it is. But yeah, for the most part, I don't have any complaint. I don't think it's ever been not in a presentable order. We have stuff.
We have too much stuff.
We have too much stuff. And
demos and all that good stuff.
Dirty laundry to a minimum. That's always done. You've always taken care of the laundry.
Yes, you're welcome.
Yep. You will fold laundry without a complaint. That's not a problem.
Can I do that? Can I just say you're welcome?
Yep, you can.
You're welcome.
Yep, I appreciate it. Otherwise, all my shit would be pink and way too small.
Not your shit, my shit. Your shit would be fine.
Well, it'd be too small. I'd find a way to shrink it. You'll cook meals at least 3 times a week.
I think we need to take out that you will fold laundry without complaint. I think the without complaint might be asking a bit much.
You normally don't complain. You don't complain about laundry. You'll say, oh, and that's about it.
I do on a regular basis do the middle finger at the laundry, not at you. And I told you,
and I find all of that acceptable. I think we leave it in there because
if I begin complaining too much,
yes, if you start complaining too much, then I have this to fall back on.
I don't. Okay.
Yep. I'm good with your moans and your groans and your is it laundry day? Fucking laundry. I'm okay with all of that. You'll cook meals at least 7 times a week.
No way. That's not what our contract says.
That's what it's going to say. That's what you've been doing for 3 years.
I know, but it's been 3 years. I think we need to make some adjustments.
I will agree to make peanut butter sandwiches once a week for everybody to eat.
You know, we talked about this one off air, and one of the things that you said is, I get food. You buy.
I've paid for DoorDash.
Have.
Now, so when going back, and this is the discussion that we've had, going back when this was written, we was either getting home around the same time or I was getting home within 30 minutes to an hour after you. And at that point in time, it was fine for me to pick up food and bring it home and it'd still be warm. Now that my schedule changed, I'm not leaving as early. I actually leave later than you and I get home earlier than you.
Yes.
Normally. There is times I am here an hour and a half before you get here.
So you can't bring home.
If I pick up food,
it's gonna
be cold.
Well, and here's the thing: once you're married, we have a joint account.
Yeah.
We have our individual accounts, but we have a joint account that's for all the expenses.
Yep.
And when I pick up food for the family,
It comes
not
out
like
of
if I'm picking up myself something to go, in the morning, but if I'm buying food for the family, it comes out of the house account.
Right.
So you're buying me food anyways.
Yeah, I've actually got an X on that one. I don't have my pencil in my hand, so I've already X'd it. I just want to take that out altogether. You'll cook meals at least 3 times a week.
Because I do.
You cook regardless. There's been times I've offered to help. There's been times you've accepted that offer. There's been times you've said, no, go sit down.
Right.
So, and then, summertime, I think I DoorDashed us blizzards while we was sitting in the pool.
So good.
So there is times that I do take care of the meals.
Yes,
by
sir.
purchasing them.
You do. And when we go out.
Yep.
So you'll be like, hey, let's go grab something tonight.
And a lot of times I've taken care of that.
I agree. I just, when you're faced with the rest of your life,
Right.
Because I not only cook the 7 days a week, I do, the meals 3 times a week. Are you kidding me? I make breakfast on Saturday and Sunday.
All right. Discipline. You will accept any and all punishments that master sees fit that do not fall in hard limits or do not cause permanent or lasting physical or mental damage. You will thank master for the discipline and punishment you receive. You will state what the punishment is and the reason for receiving punishment when you thank master. I want to leave that in there.
Yes.
This is an area that I need to improve on, is the discipline side. So for that reason, I want to keep that in there.
Yes.
When receiving spankings or whippings, you must count out loud as they are given, followed with master. So I'm good with that. I want to add, and I don't know if this falls under discipline or not. One of the things that I have read about, and it's been a while, it's been a year or so that I even mentioned it to you, but I think I want to put it in here. And I don't know if it should be weekly or bi-weekly, but to have maintenance spankings.
Okay.
And that is a time, it's not a punishment. It's not a form of discipline. It is not, it is a kind of a maintenance to us. It is a time for us to come in. It is a time for you to lay across my lap. And I get to spank you. It may not be hard. It may be soft, but I feel that is kind of a reconnecting point of you're in my lap, I'm holding you, and kind of a reconnecting thing, but it's called maintenance spankings.
Okay. I don't have a problem with that.
All right. Safe words. Thanks, Sir Dante, for this. I would like to put in there yellow can be altered or removed
What?
from a punishment. Yes.
Huh.
Yes.
It wasn't, he didn't do it for a Oh, he did. It was a punishment that
Yep.
he removed it.
He removed it, or he got to ignore the first
3, he said.
At that time, it was 3 because that's how long it took for her to do something. But yeah, so we can't change red. Red is going to stay
Obviously.
as, yep. But yellow can be altered or removed for a punishment. Let's see, attach. Oh, yeah, that's this one. Gotta reach down here for this one. We are going to add punishments include but are not limited to spankings, physical pain, humiliation, task, chores, restrictions, and higher forms of protocol. Because I think that is good, because I have some ideas for if some of the rules are broken, some of the punishments that may be entailed with that. No particular act of disobedience or rebellion is assigned a particular punishment. I will have some, and I will list examples of. So it could be one of these, or it could be something similar to that. Now, the punishment side of it, what I'm talking about, that is going to be taking off air for us to discuss off of the podcast. But that is what I'm looking to
let there be known
add.
that there are punishments,
Yes.
and then we will discuss.
Yep. That
Right.
there will be a couple of examples for this. This is the punishment for this. Here's 2 examples. It could be one of these, or it could be something similar to this.
I think when you're a submissive and you're agreeing to give up control on things, I think punishments are necessary. And I think they're necessary because they just align with, I did something wrong.
Right.
And I really didn't mean to or didn't want to, but then I've got a punishment that helps me realign my brain and say, I did it, it's done, let's move forward. And I think sometimes what happens in relationships is people don't let go of older things. It tends to recycle and regurgitate all the time.
Right.
And I think that by doing a punishment,
it wipes the slate clean.
It wipes it clean. And it's like, I think sometimes when we're at the club and we're in the dungeon and I react very strongly from subspace immediately into the sub drop, I think it's because I needed that release as well. It's the same kind of wiping the slate clean, but not having done anything wrong. It's just a refresh in my body, spirit to back to normal.
Right. Yep. All right. And that would be all of the rules for you. So then we move into my side of it.
Was there anything on your side that you didn't like? Did you review it again?
I did review it.
Okay.
And the one that I have, we will just go over those. And I actually have 1 or 2 to probably add on my side as well. But down in section 3 of public, Master will take the lead in all public conversations and will signal when he would like for Lady Dee to speak by asking, again, you are a strong, independent, social butterfly sometimes.
So I think this is a good one, and I think we let it go in certain ways, but I think that this is what we can do. Most of the time when we walk into the club, I am behind you.
Yes.
And I let you, I tend to not interact that much with people until after we get ourselves situated, get our drinks. It's going to be hard at the club environment because the women tend to all be very strong, dominating personalities outside of their men who control them in the dungeon or they give up control to their men.
Right.
So the problem is there's always a big hugs, big whatever.
Yep.
And how would you change that one? You would take it out?
No, so when it's
Certain.
it's when we're meeting people for the first time.
I tend to sit quiet back.
Obviously in our group, you know, I don't want you to act any different with our group than you normally would.
Unless I were in trouble. Our friend was in trouble.
Yes.
She had a do not interact collar.
I'm working on your collar right now. I'm trying to find somebody that can make it. I don't want the do not interact.
But you got some.
I've got one in mind. And you know, yeah.
I love you so much.
You know, it may not be a collar. It may be a hoodie that you have to wear.
You do realize claustrophobic, right?
Yes.
So it can't be a mask.
It's not a mask, but it's either going to be a collar or a hoodie. I know I can get it on a hoodie. I just don't know if I can get it on a collar.
I can do a hoodie.
Yeah.
I just can't have anything like over my mouth and nose.
Right. No, it's nothing like that. Okay. No. But it's
like a big mask.
It's basically just going to say, don't talk to me.
Don't talk to me. You know, that one was a hard one.
Yeah. But yeah, for as far as the, you know, taking the lead in all public conversation stuff. And again, you do tend to, you know, kind of sit back
in new situations.
Right. There is times depending on how much alcohol you've had and all that kind of stuff. So it's something that we have to work on.
Yeah. I don't think it was terrible.
No.
Okay.
And then under household,
yes.
I have a lot of notes on that one.
Stop.
I will let you know when I would not like you to cook.
You're just going to take that one out.
I'm going to take that one out. And then I'll provide one meal a week. I think I do. I mean, especially, you know, with if we're considering me purchasing, you know, because the house account, you know, my money goes in that account.
My money goes in that account too.
So, you know,
okay,
and then we need to remove the reading of your diary daily because you don't have a diary.
I think there's something though that we need to add.
Oh, I've got a couple to add for sure. But go ahead.
I think that there's one that we need to add that has, like, I don't have a diary, but there has to be a way to communicate with you. And I saw it in one of them where one of the other ones that we were reading, I would like to communicate how I'm feeling in a day.
Yes.
And I can't do it in the letter because that's at 4:30 in the morning. I'm not even feeling anything at that point.
Right. So we have talked about that. I think it would be a good thing for you. All right. So when you clock out and you get to your car, that would be the time to send a text that lets me know your day is done. You are now at your car. You're going to pick the kid up. You're coming home. So that will let me know that for sure. But also, that will be the time to tell me what kind of mood you're in.
I think, okay, I'm going to ask that we shift that to when I pick up my son.
Okay.
Because it's not far from work and I pick him up before I would head out by you or head back home. And that can determine my mood. Even if I'm in a great mood, if I come in and the daycare is complaining or telling me some negative. I mean, right now he's got an amazing provider, but that's not always the case with him.
Yep. So change the time from the time you clock out, get in your car till the time you get to daycare, pick him up. You've got voice command. I mean, you could wait till you're almost on the interstate and then, send a text.
I would do it as soon as we get in the car because he's got to buckle up and stuff. And there's sometimes that I would send something and I don't want him to hear. So I would send it in via text.
So then a couple things that I want to add. I think I do. I will respect the hard limits of you and will not seek to press the boundaries of hard limits.
I don't know.
I think I do pretty well at that, but
Do we have hard limits?
you have a few. I mean, we haven't really sat down and nailed them out. I mean, I kind of know what they are.
Right. I think we talked about it when we started the relationship,
Right.
but like with you, those are a little bit more. I mean,
Right.
we're married, so.
So then the second one, I will ensure that all equipment is in a clean, hygienic, and safe state at all times. And then another one that I want to add.
Oh, you're adding that? That's
Yes,
not in here?
it's not
Because
in
you
there.
always do. That's your.
Right, but it's something that I've got to make sure regardless every time. And then the last one I'm adding in here for me, if anybody does get the opportunity to use implements on you in a cross or spanking bench, I will not be busy with anything else. I will monitor, watch, and stop any activities that I feel are not safe to you. You should not be giving a yellow or a red to somebody else. That I should be there to step in,
Yeah,
to
because
stop, and to correct and teach if they're doing something wrong.
Because the big thing for me is you push me without me needing to yellow or red.
Right.
When I do, it's because we're using a new implement or you're doing something different intentionally
Right.
to get a little bit stronger reaction because I've indicated that I'm in green and you want to push that a little. So I agree with that. Your eyes would be able to determine pretty quickly based on my movements.
Yep.
I think that there is a couple that I would like to add.
Okay.
So this is our world together. And I am totally okay with us removing the meals because I cook them. You do ask me if you can help. When you come out, if groceries are here, you're putting it up with me or you're bringing it in the house and I'm putting it up. We do blend, like our Airbnb, we blend that perfectly.
Right.
I think that I tend to have, maybe it's because my job is less physical. I tend to have more energy on the weekends usually. So I'm up earlier.
Right.
I do the majority of the stuff. But when it comes to cleaning our home, we have to do it together.
Okay.
The rest of it I don't care about. It's the cleaning. And we do it when guests are coming over, when we're having an event, but on the normal time we don't. And that means neither me nor you. It's like if I see something, I clean it up, but it's not a cleaning. So we probably need to come up with some kind of a schedule because our world gets so crazy where we're gone every week and doing events and doing different things that the cleaning gets, the one thing that gets completely put aside is cleaning. I mean, we straighten up. You could walk into my house and I could entertain you, but if you look in the corners, you're going to see some dust bunnies. And so I'd like to kind of come up with something to include you in our household activities because we have agreed to this home together. And so we should be responsible for it together.
I'm all right with that.
Okay. And then the other one is sexually. We have the best life and we have the best sex when we have sex. But I think that one of the things that we should make sure of, like you're making me masturbate once a week, I think that we should find a way to ensure that if our timing doesn't work out, like I'm hurting the days you're not hurting and you're hurting the days I'm not, if we find a way, I think that it should be some kind of a minimum amount of sexual activity.
Okay.
And I think that I saw one where it was like make yourself available to give a blowjob or whatever, that at least twice a week or something like that.
Right.
Because, I mean, that opens the door for more, or the massage opens the door for more.
That's what I was thinking for, you rubbing my back, the maintenance spankings, and the fact of you masturbating. So between those three things, I think is going to open the door for more opportunity.
I agree. And it's not like we don't have sex. I don't want it out there thinking that, but there are just...
But there are days that we look at each other and we're both going, fuck.
It's time for bed. I really love you, but I just want to go to bed. Yep. But I want to ensure, and it gets harder. It was easier when our child was young. Right. Because he's taking naps and he's whatever. Right. Now
he's not.
Inevitably. The
minute we sneak off,
he's looking for us.
Yep.
So, of course, because we do recordings and different things, there's ways around that. We could be, hey, we're going to record. We need you to be quiet.
Right.
So, but I would like to include something along that, and we'll figure out the exact wording, but I want to make sure that your needs are being met sexually as well as a dom, because I know as a dom you get that taken care of at the club on a regular basis. And I know that sometimes by the time we leave the club, we're not, it used to be a thing where you'd be like, oh, when we got home we'd have sex, but
when we don't get home till 3 or 4 in the morning.
And we can't even sneak off to a room most of the time because we're literally packing it up. Right. People are in the dungeon waiting all night for these activities that you provide. So I think household, adding something about it being both of our responsibilities to maintain the house, and, however that plays out. I think you've already included some things, but I also want where at least once a week, maybe we do it since we've got the other stuff for me. Maybe it's once a week I offer.
Hey, I'm good with that.
And if you don't,
if I ever say no, shoot me.
Hey, wait a minute. You've said no. You've been like, babe, I think tomorrow might be better. And then, so I will offer.
Okay. I am definitely good with that being in there.
Okay. And then I think all the rest of it, the only other thing is figuring out a way to include, and maybe the stoplight is the right way, but include, and this may be up on you to decide the best way for me to communicate when something bothers me.
Okay.
So I can't make this. I can't, because if something's bothering me, I'm dealing with emotion and not intellect. And if I'm dealing with emotion, I'm not clear and concise and wonderful and able to I tend to get tense. I tend to get uptight.
Right.
And so I would like to find a way, and maybe it is similar to giving you my collar. Maybe we do, I know we've already got the safe words, but maybe instead of that, it's giving you my collar to let you know that I need you to be in a different headspace. I need you to be in your dom headspace versus your work, your husband, your whatever headspace. I need you to be able to set aside your emotions, because you as a dom are never emotional.
Right.
Like when you are in dom space, when your headspace is as a dom, meaning we're going to be using the cross, the dungeon, the whatever, you're setting up to punish me. You don't do any of those things with anger, or you're just a different person when that
Right.
hat goes on. And I need that hat when I'm emotional.
Right.
Doesn't mean I won't throw it at you and get punished for that shit. That would never happen. But you see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, just trying to figure out a way to open communication that's on a different level than let's start a fight, because that's not usually what it's about.
Right.
You know, it's usually about.
So I think that would be, a good way to kind of signal and to trigger bringing me a collar. And immediately after I put your collar on, you say yellow.
Yep.
Because
And
then I know, all right, so I'm in control. I'm the dominant.
And if I kneel, like, right?
Right.
So, and I'm not trying to.
But saying yellow immediately after means you're not looking to play, or you're not wanting to be flogged or paddled or any of that.
Right. Yeah.
Because if you bring me your collar, I'm gonna bring you in. I'm gonna put your cuffs on. I'm gonna put all of this on. I'm recreating a scene in my head of how I want things to go. But if immediately after putting a collar on you say yellow, there's no scene. We got to talk about whatever it is we need to talk about.
Do you think that would help you? Because I'm not looking to help me. I'm very verbal.
So I know, but yes, that's what I'm saying. I think it would, because it would kind of put me in more of a
Dom headspace,
yes.
Because it's you have emotions too. You're a person, a human being. And so you get hurt, you get angry. And there's sometimes when I need to be able to communicate without having those emotions take you over, because then if I'm emotional, now you're emotional, that's when things get rough.
Right.
So I think that I am happy with all of the changes, except for, I think I'm happy with all the changes that you've put in. And I think that we just need to finalize it, write it, and sign it.
Sounds good.
I think we did pretty good.
All right.
So all you out there listening,
Yep.
this is what it takes to do a contract negotiation.
Yep. And, the fortunate thing for us of being together 5 years, I kind of already know what you're looking out of it. You know what I'm looking to get out of it. It does make things a lot easier. The fact that 5 years ago, we already knew what we wanted out of the relationship. So that was a huge help. It's not like we was rewriting and renegotiating everything in here.
Right. I think 5 years in, one of the big things, and I would assume that we're not the only ones, 5 years in, you just have to realign the Dom sub relationship, because it's very easy to fall out of pieces of that because of work, because of schedules, because of kids.
It's not recommended to wait 5 years.
But we were following so much.
We were doing so
much.
It's better to look at it, quarterly, annually,
yes,
annually.
Address it when it comes up.
Yes.
Versus but we had literally taken it and didn't look at it again.
Right.
We once, like within that first year, there was some rocky times. We were dealing with some issues, just learning we went from meeting to living together. There was no slow build.
It was
you
all
moved
or
in.
nothing. It was all or nothing.
That was it. We were done.
Yep.
I'm happy. I don't want you to leave. I don't ever want you to leave.
Right.
So I think, though, people just need to be aware that if you have a contract and your Dom sub relationship within your household starts dropping off, that it is necessary, if you reread the contract, if you don't just set it aside on the shelf and ignore it, if you read it, it'll help.
Kind of bring back to where you was in the beginning, into that mindset, and make you think about what you want, what you're looking to get out of that relationship, and then as long as that communication is there, then it is a time to mend and get things back on track together with.
So in the end, and it feels this way to me, I'm going to ask you a question. What, in the end, what do you want to get out of our contract? What do you just said you want to make sure you get what you want out of it. What is your desire? What do you want to get out of the contract?
Well, the most important thing, and again, it goes back to you giving up control. I want to have the rules and the expectations set to where every day when you wake up, you want to give that control to me.
And when I think about the things that I've put into the contract and what I want respect for giving up that control.
Right.
Does that make sense? That control is mine to give or take or not do. But in the end, I want the respect of my dom because I've given up that control.
Right.
And I'm a very dominating person overall. I have a big personality and I'm very in control. So for me to come to you and hand you my collar, which I haven't done. Yes, we will. I will now. We've got more. And for me to let go of all the need to be handling everything.
Right.
I want respect that I'm doing that.
Right.
That's beyond being your wife. I'm your submissive and I give up this control to you willingly. And I think you take care of me in a way that if you didn't, we wouldn't be together. You've always taken care of that side of me very well.
All right. Well, that is the end of our contract renegotiation.
Whew, that was a lot.
Stick around. We've got so much more to come. We've got several interviews that we've got lined up that we're excited to share with you. And then we've actually got more interviews that will be coming that we're getting ready to do.
And we've got a demo in May.
Got a demo for Swinger Society in May, 2 nights, a Friday and a Saturday. So a lot more to talk about. Plenty more topics to come. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions or topics you would like for us to go over. We are very excited to hear what you want to know about. So until then, see you next week.
Thank you. Please follow, like, and share our podcast.
Make sure to visit thedomlife.com where you can find pictures and other details about the Dom Life podcast. And through the Contact Us button, you can ask questions or provide recommendations for future episodes.
We want to explore your kink too.
Be sure to check out upcoming events to see where our adventures are taking us and our photo gallery to where we've been.
Thank you for joining us on this journey. We hope you had fun listening and learning with us.
Till next time, keep calm and remember your safe word.
Red, red, red.